Hi, Hannah. I love this actually. And your organization on this was stupendous. I think creativity wise, you really laid this out beautifully. Okay, I'm not even going to change anything except I want you to understand some of your elements are too close to the edge, especially text, like the word, I'm not going to zoom in, but the word what's and the W is too close to the end. This box right here is too close to the end, but this is going to be an easy fix. It might take a minute, but it's an easy fix. See where your dots are? I like how you have the body copy ending with the dots, but I'm even going to try to fix that a little bit. Okay, so what I want to do is to select everything and use these dots here as your left and right margins. Okay, so I'm going to put a guide in right here on the dot on this side here, and I'm going to put a guide over here with the dots on this side. They're not exactly centered perfectly, so I'm going to kind of click on the dots just by themselves and center them a little bit better. Okay, so let me zoom in here and let's just I want to get rid of some of these boxes, so the windows. Okay, so I'm going to hit the E key, and that's going to allow me, which is the transform tool, right, to snap into those guides. So that'll allow me to really place those dots kind of exactly where they need to go. And I didn't do any measurements using the transform tool on the guides. So I see that, and I better do that first because I want this to be right. Okay, so I'm going to go get the transform tool or window, and I'm going to select this guide over here on the left only. So I want to select it, and since I see that your ad is 8 inches, then this wants to go to 0.25. Okay, on the X ruler, so 0.25. Now maybe I'll go even to 0.3, and that'll be good. So now I want to go to 0.3 less than 8, so it would be 7.7. Okay, on this one. So let's go over here and click to 7.7. I was close. I'm real close to it. So now they're perfectly 0.3 in from both sides. Now I can go to lock the guides. So let's just go to lock them. Okay, now let's select the dots. And you can tell me at the end of this if you like what I've done or not. Okay, that's the dots right there. I love your organization. You've done a marvelous job. So now let's zoom into this side, hit the E key, and snap that into the guide over there. Let's move over here. I can now take away the transform palette and snap this into here. So mathematically, you can see that my dots are now evenly spread on the left and the right. So now I can lock the dots up because I don't want to move them anymore. But I want to move everything else. And then I'll have to fix the green box and the red box and maybe even take the white boxes. Well, this is your design. I don't want to change your design. Okay, I just want to make this have a better margin. So we're going to select everything and try to keep this 1/3 margin or 0.3 margin all the way around. Okay, even if we visually eyeball the top and bottom. So here's my point. I've locked everything up but I've unlocked everything but the dotted line. So everything except for the background, the blue background, if I click the layer 2, I have everything selected. So right now, let's just take this and visually bring everything over to that margin right here. So I want to take the W over here and just kind of look at it. Okay, and then over here, let's take everything in so we're taking the words and not having them go beyond the 0.3. So you see how, and I might have to do some individual things here. So here I took the O on bingo and the S on arcades over to the guide. Over here, I took the W, letting a little bit extend over the guide here, and now I'm going to click away, and then we'll fix. So I'll take the direct select tool and click away, and now that feels better. See how that feels, that you have breathing room? I'll even hit Command semicolon so you can see what it looks like. I haven't done anything. I've just, meaning I haven't like ruined anything on the visual aesthetics of this. Now let's take the word H, let's take the headline, which the S on masks is pretty good, and already over here we have to take the H over to that 0.3 so it lines up with the dot, and possibly even move it a little farther over so the white shadowy thing is actually over the guide. So let's find the headline, which is the shadow, title, and title. So let's click and shift click both of these dots here so just that is selected. Now we hit the E key for the transform tool, move in, and let's just snap that right to the guide right there. It's very important when you do something like this, and again, you've done a great job, that you give visual, and I don't know what the word, there's several things I could bring up here, but visual continuity, composition, being, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Being, it'll come to me in a second. Consistent, that's the word. Consistent. Now let's take the M on Michigan and the N on conjunction over to the dots too. So let's find the body copy. Let me just click on one of them here. I have to go to the direct select tool, so I can click on just one of them and find that little, okay, the summary. That's what I'm looking for. So let's take the circle for the summary, hit the E key, zoom in, and just move this over so the M lines up to the dots. Again, that consistency thing is what I'm looking for, and what you should be looking for too. Let me Z back because I didn't do this right. Okay, now let's take the N over there, and now again let's click away with the direct selection tool, and we have now more consistency there. Now let's take the green box, because I like how you took it off the edge. So let's take this off the edge that way. Okay, let's go down to this one, which I believe, oops, it's probably on the other side, the red box. Let's take this part with the direct select tool. If I click on the edge and then hold the shift key, I can take that one off the edge. Now let's, I want to select everything together again. I'm thinking out loud here. I think this whole thing here that I'm going to marquee right here, this whole thing can go up a little bit so we maintain that 0.3. Let me just grab it and move it up a little bit so we maintain a visual distance. A little bit farther down is good. And now I don't mind the by a design sense, that white box possibly could go up, or the words inside could go up. So let me just play with that a little bit. Let's go into the two. You've done such a good job of organizing that all of this is very easy to do. So let's move that up. Now I'm going to place a guide at the bottom of the red box here, and let's take the white box, hit the E key, and move the white box up. So at least that has a nice continuity. And I love how the house goes off the screen. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Let's take the, just for giggles, let's take this white box right here. Let me take the direct select tool, click on it, now hit the E key, and I just want to see how that looks if that goes off the screen like this. And then I'll save a PDF. And healthcare, the word healthcare could move over to the alignment. So let's take this. So you see how I'm kind of custom fitting everything. Let me find where health is and click on that. Whoops, I have to go inside health, which you have beautifully organized. Click on the group, and now let's zoom in, hit the E key, which is the transform tool, and move H over to there. Now let's save the file. Now let me look at the other side. Okay, now we can actually get a little bit more room by taking this white box right here. So let's take the A key, find it in the layer palette. It's in high school, which again, luckily you have this thing so freaking well organized. So let me take the rectangle and hit the E key and pull that off the screen this way. And now we can move, although not very far, let's move the high school word, hit the E key, Brian, and let's snap that so the L is there, but the punctuation goes over. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. So a little bit more consistency is the only thing I was looking for. Now, let me just check out this for the whole thing. I'm going to hit Command semicolon so I don't have to see the guides. Okay, and then we're going to save this as a PDF file. Now, let me show you a couple bad tangents. This is kind of close right here, too close to the line, and you have space on the left. So let's click this, find the whole box for shopping, click on the circle. I need to get the word retail in there, so let's shift click the word retail, hit the E key, and just shove this a little bit farther away from that center line and just visually give that a nice feel. The pie, that is what's known right there as a bad tangent. Either it should overlap it or it shouldn't. So I think the pie itself could the pizza could just move to the left. So let's click the pizza with the direct select tool, find it in here. Pizza, pizza, pizza. So there is the pizza. All I want is the word. I'm sorry, I want the whole pizza thingy. Nope, not the words. So let me take the group and lock it. Okay, so I've locked the group, which is that over here. Now let's take the E key and just move the pizza over a little farther, which, by the way, that probably looks better too, although now I created a bad tangent right there. So let's click it again, and let me see what I'm doing here. Okay. But let's move that. Okay, let's hit the E key, Brian, and now move that a little far. Oops, the whole thing was moving. So I have to turn that. No, I have to click on everything here. I've locked up the word group. It shouldn't even be selected. So let me click. I'm going to shift click everything here just to make it quick. Just because I want that pizza here and here. Okay, so now only the pizza slice is selected. I know I'm being picky here, but I just want you to see that certain places of graphics is very important. Now let me hit the A key. Okay, see how we actually nicely don't have any bad tangents running there. You're never going to get rid of all of them, but that feels nicely. Real nice. Now, let's save this as a PDF, and I want you to see how to save it correctly as a PDF, okay? So I'll save it again, and then I'll hit Command-Shift-S or Control-Shift-S, and then that'll let me choose the PDF here, and then I'll send you back the PDF. I think you should get used to doing, if you agree with this, with what I did. So I'm going to uncheck Preserve Illustrator Editing Capability and hit Save PDF. And now it's going to be low memory because I unchecked Preserve Illustrator Editing Capability. Now look how that feels here, okay, with everything aligned nicely. Now I should have done something else. I should have taken the heroes and moved it down a little bit. Okay, so I better resave the PDF. So let me take the A key, click on the word masks, locate the title again down here, click and shift click just this, and let's just move it farther down, just so we have that consistency that I'm looking for. Which is right about there. Yeah, that feels better. Okay, yeah, that feels really good. Okay, that feels really nice. We could take the with COVID, the whole internal part of this, and just move it down away from the dots a little bit. So I'm getting very picky here, but that's okay. That's what it takes to be a good designer. So let's just take the E key after I clicked on that circle and just move it away just a little bit. And I love how you created outlines with this. You did a great job. This down a little bit more. It doesn't hurt anything. It just makes it easier to read that and having space. Now let's resave the PDF. So let's go Command or Control Shift S, Command Shift S, whatever. Save the PDF, replace the PDF, and save it right there. And now I actually have it saved, so I can hit Command. I am going to save. I have to explain something really fast, okay? Illustrator, when it saves a PDF, actually leaves the PDF open. I want to hit the F key so you see something. See how this says up here, Jennings PDF? Well, I need to make sure that all my changes were saved in the AI file. So I'm going to resave as, knowing I've already safely saved the PDF, we're going to go back to the Illustrator file and save it and replace it. So now I have it saved really nicely both in PDF form and in the AI form. Now let's go to where I put everything, which is right here. And here is your PDF. So let me hit Control 0 and go down a little bit like this. And look at how clean that is. Look at how all of the alignments work. And now you have breathing room from the left side. Let me zoom in a little bit. Look at how you have room, visual, I'm trying to get this right. Okay, there we go. We have everything lines up on the left, more or less, right? And everything lines up on the right that are the important items, right? To give it a visual feel. I mean, you have so much going on in this in a good way. I really like this. I think that the spoon and the fork and the plate could move a little bit to the right. You know what I mean? But that's just picking on it. So I hope you understand what I did, and let me know your thoughts.